The first thing a new player will see in No Man's Sky is an infinite sea of stars. While at first feeling like a pretty loading screen, it doesn't take long to realize that each dot flying across your vision is an entire solar system. Ethereal, spine-tingling music begins to play. The monolithic words of No Man's Sky fade into view, and eventually the racing stars end. You sit greeted by a white screen. Once you initialize, you slowly look around your surroundings. Stark contrast to the previous spectacle, you now go from hurling through a universe to being in a single galaxy on a single solar system, getting yourself up off the ground on a single planet, trying to find your starship in a single region. The game zooms you in tenfold, bringing all of the weight of an entire universe into a single awakening. As the robotic voice of your exosuit finishes diagnostics, you're greeted with a message. First contact. This is your moment, your discovery. An infinite universe that you have just claimed a piece of, a planet never before seen. You, its sole witness. The initial experience in the game is very small scale. The grand sense of scale slowly fades from your mind as you pursue solutions to more immediate problems. Gazing into a sea of stars is no longer your priority, simply finding enough oxygen to breathe. Wandering from hill to hill, accosted by storms, alien plants, and the occasional strange fauna, we have our first taste of the day-to-day life on a planet. As we accumulate more of the necessities, we no longer have to worry about staying alive. We can focus more on what's around us. The sky, sea, sunset, colors. The beauty is introduced in degrees. As your needs are met, you have more headspace to process the scenery. It's an amazing concept. Once you feel established, maybe even with a small base to call home, you can just sit back, feeling like you earn the relaxation you feel at simply enjoying the view. Eventually, you'll finish what you need on this planet and repair the starship. For the first time, you leave the home that you grew so attached to. The microscope is dialed back 1 degree, and we can go from planet-side to system-wide. You see multiple other globes in space, realizing that they're all as detailed and explorable as the first planet. It's a very interesting feeling. Your special experience on the first planet wasn't even tailored to be extra special. It was simply a planet. The sense of slow burn is one of the best things No Man's Sky does to the early game, when you realize that not only is every planet large enough to be worth landing and exploring, but each system. The way that your horizons broaden, bit by bit, until after a while the entire galaxy seems like it's at your fingertips. But for now, you reside in the single system that you started. As your hyperdrive remains unconstructed due to lack of materials, this leads us into one of the most foundational moments of the beginning chapters of the game. The isolation you felt all throughout the beginning planet is soon remedied as you begin to land. The isolation you felt all throughout the beginning planet is soon remedied as you begin to land in the system's space station. The music swells with your anticipation. You can finally see others. You can share this universe. You aren't a fluke in the cosmos. You are. As the hyped up music dies down, you end your landing sequence in a brightly lit, bustling port. Odd members of alien races stroll between booths, neon signs advertise wares in an unknown language, but most noticeably, they appear to be entirely different from you. You remain an anomaly. Even among fellow sentient beings, you're an outlier. They have no desire to grasp the stars, they simply exist within their own space stations. You do what you need, interacting, bartering, and perhaps even befriending the locals, yet that odd sensation persists. You, not they, are the alien. You're the oddity. You don't neatly fit into one of the 3 dominant races of the system and galaxy. Again, we see this slow burn of discovery, being completely alone with nothing but a robotic voice to keep you company, eventually to the company of animals, to even civilized and sentient races, yet despite the evolution of your interactions, you still feel alone. As if adrift in a sea of stars. You remain devoid of contact, separate from any who have truly experienced this system as you have. The original travelers of this universe put it very eloquently when they said, "What was the purpose of infinity if you could not see it all, if you were alone, if you would one day die?" These words were spoken to the Atlas in protest of an infinite simulation, in which it was their sole duty to explore. These explorers were the forefathers of the player character, because yes, perhaps the inhabitants of the space stations remain ignorant and unrelatable for the most part, but there are those out there, those like you. In a similarly desperate attempt to our own emotions, a traveler broadcasts into the void. One of my favorite Game Over quotes goes as follows. "We're each of us alone, to be sure. What can you do but hold your hand out in the dark? Hold our hand out in the dark. The hand found you." Artemis's words came softly, static, strange. You are not alone. Those words echo through your cockpit, dispersing across empty space like a starship scan wave, a question in your mind, whether conscious or not, the entire game up to this point. The answer is given simply, out of the blue. You are not alone. There's another person like you, somewhere, and your pursuit to find them drives the main story for a substantial while after this. This person, Artemis, is also what leads you to the Anomaly, a space station for those like you. A place to finally feel like you belong, a place for those who dream and explore, a refuge for those who strive for more. The Anomaly connects you not just to NPCs who understand your pursuit, but players, flesh and blood real people, who you can share this experience and universe with. But multiplayer missions aside, player interaction is one of the most beautiful things in this game. Because you don't have to squat up with people in your lobby, you can just find each other, or more likely, remnants of someone who is in the same place you are at some other time. Someone who provides you with a message in a bottle. A simple yet profound communication. A message left by someone who will never know if it will be discovered, and a reader who will never know the whereabouts of the author. Bases offer a similar experience to this, best demonstrated by my recent experiences with the Aquarius expedition. Expeditions, of course, offer you an amazing way to naturally interact with human contact in-game, since a much higher volume of players traverse a particular section of the galaxy. I was in a system rather close to the expedition path. Systems like this often remain quiet since they don't lie directly on the route to the next objective. Yet while I was approaching the atmosphere of a new planet, I noticed a few bases. One caught my eye, a name offering with help of giant fish, which was an objective I was trying to complete. I descended from the heavens and onto a humble landing platform amidst an endless ocean, expanding in all directions. The landing pad connects to a small room, which then leads out to a pier. The communication machine gives me a message instructing me on which bait and depth would work best to catch the necessary fish. Someone was here, on the very same planet I went to, and just like a message in a bottle, they built a small base in the infinite universe, a small patch of territory. Like the bottle, they won't know I was there, yet they still left instructions. Like an echo of the past, this person's building had not only served and helped me, but connected me to a human I'll never meet. Our two distinct paths in life won't ever cross. We never spoke. He'll never even know I was there, yet we shared an experience, his small fishing pier. Experiences like these can't help but make one ask the question, what about me? Has weary traveler found solace in my town? Did a small outpost I put among the stars help someone in need? We will never know. That's beautiful. People building, leaving marks, with knowledge that they'll never see confirmation of success or contact. Like the quote said, we hold our hands out in the dark, and sometimes, even in the face of the fathomless depths of space, we can find marks, remnants, and echoes. No Man's Sky hits on one of the core desires of humanity, to leave your handprint on the wall, defiantly stating to any others who gaze upon it for the rest of history, I was here. Another core aspect of humanity that No Man's Sky appeals to is pursuit. The pursuit of beauty, belonging, perfection, small things like chasing the best multi-tool upgrades, but also the grand things. An amazing example is in the Wonders menu, the catalog of all your best findings. One of the planet categories is Paradise Quotient. Each planet has a percentage attached to it of how paradisical it is. Tropical planets with mild weather will of course go in the high 90s, whereas volcanoes will be nearly nothing. I've heard the criticism of No Man's Sky that, despite its improvements, at its core it's still repetitive. More specifically, you know what to expect when landing on a planet after hundreds of hours, the weather, plant style, resources, etc. But to those who suggest this idea, I ask you to reconsider. The beauty of an infinite universe doesn't lie in complete, endless uniqueness, it lies in the pursuit of what's familiar. Because yes, we know what to expect, but each planet is still its own perfect blend of those familiar aspects. It makes No Man's Sky feel like a second home, a place to explore but feel grounded. Nothing ever totally throws you out of your element, which allows you to just explore. The beauty doesn't lie in the unknown, but pursuit of what is known. You know what the Paradise Planet is, but perhaps there's a specific color of ocean you want, tree colors, animal life. The pursuit isn't constantly seeking new things, but the perfect combination of what's familiar to them, their ideal planet, their paradise quotient. But even then, just venturing between stunning vistas, that's a reward in itself. It calls to mind the words of an NPC. Existence is beautiful if you let it be. Life is not a question. There does not need to be an answer. My praise of multiplayer has already been said, but I've as of yet neglected my favorite aspect of the game, the solitude. While originally loneliness at the beginning, you eventually make the friends you need, obtain a freighter crew, etc., you surpass that need. You become more comfortable in this universe. The more you live in it, the more you can simply drift about, enjoying the experience. Because yes, the dauntingness of an infinite universe can be scary. It can feel lonely and isolating, but the solitude can be beautiful. Like a walk early in the morning, a solo hike through the woods, the feeling of just you being your own company. Hearing the wind whistle past you, sitting on a grassy hill and watching the sunset, these gorgeous and calming moments are often enjoyed alone. No Man's Sky, to me at least, almost feels like a form of meditation. Not just a game I play for fun, but a way for me to disconnect and completely depressurize my brain. Solitude is the soul's holiday, as they say. Whether it's decorating your base, fishing off the side of your ship over a golden ocean with pink skies, or even warping system to system and landing on every purple planet you see. No Man's Sky brings the familiarity of our world, plants, animals, formations, skies, but spins them, making it feel not just like looking at artwork, but almost as if exploring alternate versions of our own physical existence. Warped in odd deserts, neon jungles, barren red tundras. Our prior knowledge of environments grounds us in reality, but the art style, soundtrack, and colors can transport you to places that feel so familiar and mundane, yet distant and thought-provoking. Soaking in every last drop of synth and sunset alone is cathartic and beautiful. The last thing I'd like to call attention to is another core human experience, impermanence. Yet again, No Man's Sky strikes a stunning balance of being fathomless yet breathtaking, scary but alluring. It's bittersweet, really. An infinite universe is the ultimate needle in a haystack. It'll be essentially impossible to revisit anything you find without a base. I never thought about this idea much, till a fateful experience really shaped my views towards it. One day I sat to play and discovered my save file was not there. Simply gone. Either through my own error or a system bug, my save file of triple-digit hours had completely disappeared. This was a save file I had had for years. I never realized it at the time, but it was almost like a second life. The crushing realization of its non-existence put me out of commission for a day or two, if I'm being honest. Homes, pets, memories, not just of a video game, but the moments of real life they correspond with. Because whether your save is deleted or not, everything you see is unique. But a single grain of sand on the beach is easily lost. My deleted save flowed like sand through the broken hourglass. Every planet you see, species you love, odd names you find, you'll never see them again. Of course, bases are an exception, allowing you to stake claims and more reliably enjoy things you discover. But also there's just beauty and impermanence. That even the quick stops on a seemingly inconsequential planet are important. Because you're the first one to see it and the last. Every sunset and animal, gone forever. Every plan is fleeting, every experience gains that much more weight, because you'll never see those beautiful things again, fading like tears in the rain. Fittingly, one of the game over screens puts it simply yet poetically. A star has died. Elsewhere in the cosmos, in an unremarkable corner of one galactic arm, a child was born. Such is the balance of existence. Because No Man's Sky isn't just a game, artwork, or simulation. The game makes us the main character of our own journey. The character arc is our own feelings changing as we progress through the story. No Man's Sky is beautiful because it appeals to our humanity in a plethora of different ways. Our desire to discover, our desire to be together, our desire to be alone, our desire to leave a mark. So many things that it's even hard to describe. So to put it simply, No Man's Sky is No Man's Sky. I'll love it till the day I die. Ooh, that'd be a great place to end the video now, wouldn't it? But I have an end card to make, so for those of you who are returning viewers, stick around. If you're kind of done with my video, go ahead and click off. For those of you guys still here are the people who answered the question at the end of the last video. And our question for you today is, what's your favorite horror game? It's spooky month, so I've been playing a lot of spooky games, but I need a couple recommendations, so please let me know down below. Other than that, all the usual stuff. Join the Discord, leave a like if you liked the video, comment your thoughts. Did you agree, disagree? If you didn't like the video, tell me why. Tell me what you ate for lunch. I don't care, man. But yeah, as you can see, those of you who have seen some of my stuff before, this is quite different from what I usually do. I was kind of experimenting with some different editing styles and, just a more long form video that was a little more serious, and I think I did fine. We'll see if I ever do anything like this again. Let me know down below. Do you want to see more videos like this, or do you want me to stick in my lane? Oh, and by the way, did you notice that the video is exactly 16:16? Yeah, that was on purpose. No Man's Sky reference. Ooh, I'm so proud of myself. But other than that, I've spoken enough, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.